Now, today's video is on a thing that we call direct proportion. What does that mean? It just means two values that are related. As one goes up in value, the other one goes up in value. It's pretty straightforward. For example, if you're driving your car at 60 kilometers an hour, you go for 1 hour, you travel 60 kilometers. Go 2 hours, 120 kilometers. 3 hours, 180 kilometers. 0 hours, 0 kilometers. We've just identified two very important things about direct proportion. So the two values are related together, so straight away we're going to be able to represent that on a set of axes, horizontal one, vertical one. So if we're doing speed and distance, we can put them on the appropriate axes. But direct proportion always have this exact property to them, that when you plot them, they will always produce, if you plot the points that are in direct proportion to one another, they will always form a straight line, and they will always go through the origin. So if you ever see a graph where the points are in a straight line and it goes through the origin, you know you have values that are in direct proportion. Always looks like that. Now, here's the type of questions you're going to get. We're going to give you rather an abstract one to start with. So if you're told that two variables are in direct proportion with one another, so you'll something like this. So y is directly proportional to x. Now, the official scary maths way of saying that, by the way, so when it says directly proportional, it means as x goes up in value, y is also going to go up in value. So this official scary maths way of writing that is like this. We say that y is directly proportional to x. Here's the situation. My x-axis, my y-axis. So the y value is directly related to the x value. As x goes up, y goes up as well. Now, because it's a straight line, we can come up with an equation for that. Straight line are always in the form of y is equal to some particular number, some constant, that's why I use the letter k, for constant, multiplied by your x value. Now, this constant is very important. That value of the constant is the value of the constant is the slope of the line. So if I knew what the slope of the line is, I've got this constant here that gives me a rule that relates, if I know how x changes, if I multiply it by this particular constant, slope of the line, I'll produce the appropriate y value. If you go back to the idea of every time you go 1 hour in your car, you travel 60 kilometers. So if I were to go 3 hours in my car, 3 60s are 180 kilometers. That 60 is the slope of the line. It's this constant that I multiply everything by. We give it a really fancy pants name. We call it the constant of proportionality. It's a fancy pants word. It just means the slope of the line. And we're going to use this word quite a bit. It's a good thing to use the correct language that everybody in the world is going to use. Now, let's just do an example of this for you right now. Now, let's just say that you had two variables and you're told they're proportional to one another. Y is directly proportional to x. And you're told that when y is equal to 21, x is equal to 7. You'll then be asked a couple of things. You might be asked to find the rule that relates them together, and you might be asked to find one of the values when you're told the second one. So find y when x is equal to 4, for example. Alright, how do we go about solving that particular problem? Let's make a bit of space over here. Now, we're told that y is proportional to x. So, first thing we need to do is write down it into a mathematical equation that y must be equal to every one of our x values multiplied by some particular constant. What's that constant going to be? Well, this gives it to us here. It says our y value, when our y value was 21, our x value was going to be 7. So there is a point that's related, where the two are in direct proportion to one another. We know that direct proportional graphs always go through the origin. So there's our straight line. Hey, look at that. We have rise over run. In other words, the slope of the line. It rises 21 units and travels across 7 units to give our constant of proportionality as being 3. So all of the y values can be worked out by going 3 multiplied by all of the x values. We just solve part 1. What's the rule? Now we can solve part 2. When x equals 4, y equals 12. And that is direct proportion.